Man, you you go into a bar to have a drink and you get the hell stomped out of you. This is from a viral video, and it looks crazy, man. We're going to get right to it and get it talked about. And yeah, I'm sure this will make for quite an interesting discussion. I'll be back in a minute and 7 seconds right after this brief introduction. Here we have it, a mob style Outlaws MC beatdown of a black man. Is this a hate crime? Give me a minute and 7 seconds and we'll be right back.
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name's Black Dragon. Started in the Navy and hit the sea, revving Uncle Sam. They traded that uniform for the best from the mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the mighty Black Sabbath MC. We're paid his dues and he earned his stripes. From prospect all the way up to national peace. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters. There have been many, but there's only one larger than life. Black Michael with the cowboy hat that knows kung fu and says kicks Kenny. Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Just self-educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
Alrighty then. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Let me introduce my co-hosts, Lavish T. Williams, and from the Lavish T. Williams Show on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all those other places. Of Lavish T. Williams is how you find him. And our own Reverend Dr. Logic, from the Keep It Logical YouTube channel, and also God's Warriors Motorcycle Ministry. Hey, what's up, gentlemen? How are y'all this morning?
What's
Great.
up, man? I'm cool, man. Chilling. Just left therapy, man. About to start working.
Hey, so let's just get right into this. Got a little bit to cover here this morning, and it's just kind of shocking. So first thing I'll do is I'll share my screen here. We'll get into the story. So as it goes, bang, action. So outrage erupts after a viral video shows attack at a bar just outside of Fort Wayne. I believe that's Indiana. Fort Wayne. Yeah, Indiana. It says right here. Let me make this bigger so everybody out there can see it on their televisions. I'm afraid if I click this button to get rid of this. Oh, okay, it left. All right. So a viral video circulating has caused people to gather outside Waynedale Bar Saturday in opposition to the actions that took place Friday night, which the video is not a complete record of the event, but it does show several white men with vests labeled outlaw. Actually, it's outlaws, attacking a black man. In the video, you can also hear racial slurs and other explicit language. Wayne 15 went to Pike's Pub, where the viral video takes place, and spoke with owner Kelly Roast, who was not at the bar Friday night when the altercation occurred. Based on the owner's knowledge of what transpired, the man had refused to pay his bills, which provoked the attack. Roast also told Wayne 15 there are two sides to every story. As of 2:45 p.m. Saturday, Pike's Pub had removed both their Facebook and Instagram pages. The bar was closed Saturday. It's unclear how long it will remain closed. An Allen County Sheriff's Department vehicle was stationed at the parking lot of the bar on Saturday, I guess to protect it. Wayne 15 must be the news channel. Yeah, Wayne.com 15. So Wayne 15 also saw several people in the parking lot of the nursing home across the street from the bar in defiance of the bar Saturday morning. In a release from Allen County Sheriff's Department, officers responded to Pike's Pub around 11 p.m. at Friday night. According to the release, the initial call was for the removal of an intoxicated subject from the bar. Before officers arrived, the fight occurred inside the bar. When officers arrived on the scene, they spoke with the victim from the fight, who said he did not want to provide information on the individuals responsible for his injuries. The victim was taken by ambulance to an area hospital in fair condition. Yeah, that's a real G move right there.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The victim was taken by ambulance to an area hospital in fair condition. Officers then conducted a follow-up investigation on Saturday. All information regarding the case will be forwarded to the Criminal Investigations Division for further investigation. As of Sunday, no arrests have been made in connection with the incident. The Outlaws Motorcycle Club has been previously linked to criminal activity in a 2013 federal case, which has not anything to do with this case. Where a member of Fort Wayne chapter engaged in extortion. Okay, whatever. Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker reacted to the post alongside hundreds of others on social media, saying I must say it was very disturbing to watch. I must say that too. I am seeking answers, as I am sure many of you are too. Tucker also commented that I am in communication with our team, and we'll go further. We'll continue to gather information as it becomes available. This is a video I haven't seen yet. Hold on, we'll get right back to that. Due to our policy with our parent station Nexstar, Wayne 15 is not allowed to share the video without permission from the person who shot the initial video. Wayne 15 is working to obtain that permission, they say here. But this is a different video. It looks like this might be the bar. I didn't see this before. Let's check this out real quick and see what we get. Probably a commercial. Yeah, we got a commercial. It should be over. And damn, this is a long one.
Whole doggone 30 seconds.
Holy moly. My goodness.
30 seconds is a lifetime.
In this business, they got real nasty with it. They don't even let you click off of it.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a nasty one. Okay.
Those you must see.
Oak Street Health Center, they want you to get there bad.
Mm-hmm. They paid for that.
They paid for that. Here we go. Action. Oh, okay. This is just a video of the place. Yeah. Wow, we waited 30 seconds for this?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the people outside that are upset about it. Across the street at the nursing home, maybe. And Pike's Bub and Grub. Maybe that's why there's Pikes on the bottom of the video. Outrage erupts after a viral video. So you got a few folks outside, not many, not yet. You know, those things have a tendency of building. Okay, right. So there's another story on Reddit for all you fools that claim hoods. Oh, this is bad. This is my first time reading this too. Why you bow down to white people and let shit like this happen? We got to start fighting and get all these racists back in their house, scared to come out. I don't know that that's ever been the case. Also, F ICE, it's time to wake up and stand up for your hood. So this is the comment on social media. Okay, so this is the actual video here. And you've got a whole lot of comments, like somebody says,
why would he be in that bar anyway?
So why the hell would he be in that bar? I wouldn't have been in that bar, but so let's go see the video. And okay, so I'm going to tell you guys all now. The video is disturbing. We're only showing this video for news and to comment about it and for edification. I have blurred out the explicit portions of this video, and if you want to see the entire video, then go to my Instagram page, Black Dragon Biker TV Instagram page, has got the parts that are not censored as I have done them here. So that's the caveat. We are speaking about this in a newsworthy fashion to report on it and to talk about it as a source of public discussion and nothing else. So this is not to glamorize it or anything like that. So with that caveat being said, if you got young kids in the room, you may want to get them out. We'll give you about 10 seconds for that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1. All right, here we go. Yeah. So yeah, that is about 30 seconds of what happened. So we can absolutely get you guys' opinions about it and stuff like that. And I also want to bring on to the show a guest of ours who has been with us been with me quite a while, who has the Big Boneyard, Big Bone 1%er. Welcome to the show, man. You're on the phone. What's up?
Hey, and thank you for letting me be here, and I'm chomping at the bit about this one. I really am, but I'm gonna act right, control myself, not say it like I want to say it, but I'll tell you like this. A couple of things, and I'm going to say some of the quiet parts out loud. But the one thing is this: from a Marine Corps standpoint, us Marines always default to that. We have a thing that we refer to as situational awareness. Situational awareness. And anybody, whether you're a Marine or not, that just simply means being aware of your surroundings and going into a situation. If you have to go into a situation, you're aware of what's going on. And in fact, even avoiding certain situations. Now, as a black man, okay, as a Marine first, as a black man, as from a child, I knew that certain places I don't need to be in for a variety of reasons. Either not to spend my money at certain places who don't support myself or my people or anything that I'm about. I'm not going to give my money to somebody who wants to use that money to oppress me or to have ideologies that go against my own or against that of my people. And that's just a big old fancy way of saying, if I see a Confederate flag hanging outside a building or business, I don't spend my money at that business. If I go into the business, because the sign wasn't outside, the flag wasn't outside, and I come inside and I see that same thing, I turn my black ass around and go to the next establishment where my business is appreciated. So the quiet part out loud is, if you look in the video where you kind of slowed it down as you showed the video, what'd you see in the background? What'd you see from the very start of the video? Big giant Trump sign on the wall. If I'm walking in that building and I see that, I'm turning around. And I know a lot of folks, that's the quiet part out loud that just made a bunch of people's head explode because I said it out loud. But that's telling me I don't need to be there.
That's funny because I never saw that. Wow, there it is right there. Okay. I never even saw that.
Yeah, but I guarantee you he did. And for whatever reason, he elected to ignore that and and I'm not blaming the victim, as they say, or all like that, because truth be told, that fella, he was by his damn self and he was giving him the business. I mean, for a while. I mean, look how many dudes it took to even take him down, let alone to beat his ass. Right? It took a minute. So I'm proud of him. He put up a good fight. But at the same way, I'm proud of him for trying to stand his ground. I'm also thinking, what kind of a third grade education does he have to not be able to read that sign and realize that this place ain't for me?
Well,
so he should have turned around and left.
I'm certainly not going to get into victim blaming.
I'm not blaming the victim.
Any place that you feel like you want to walk into, I mean, you walk into. Black folks have had a problem with public accommodations and shit for since my mother was a child, since I was a child, and watched my mother go through that. Hey, you go eat where you go eat. If something's put up on the wall, maybe you do turn around. That wouldn't have made me turn around and leave as quickly as looking at the environment. Someone says, Frank Neely says, you can watch the video. There are no racial slurs on there. Everyone says you can hear hard R's. I like 20 MFers. It wasn't racial. Okay, so let's
come on now.
Let's
hard
go.
R's.
Let's go listen where they say beat the nigger. This guy
that's toward the end.
This guy just said he's listened to it 20 times. Well, let's listen to it right again. Beat that fucking nigger up. Did you not hear it? There's no R's there, Frank Neely. Hold on. Here you go, Frank Neely. Beat that fucking nigger up. Do you want to hear it again?
Hard R.
That's about as hard as the R goes. We don't have to believe our lying ears, Frank. Okay.
And look,
is that good enough for you?
Hard R stuff anyway. The hard R, that's just like so now if you're a full-blown racist, you figure as long as you don't use the hard R that you're not still a racist. Man, no, that's not the way that works.
So I mean, because I gotta get out here and do some work. I want to comment on the video. I do believe in reading the room, right? You should be able to go where you want to go. However, you got to be conscious enough to avoid certain situations. Now, I'm not in that guy's shoes. I don't know why he was there. I'm sitting there looking at him. I don't know what kind of town he lives in, because I do know that you can be in a certain town, and I say town versus city, because I just see the one black guy in there, and you have your 2 or 3 work buddies from the job that's like, hey, let's go here. They're white. Okay, I got my one black guy. We're all cool. Altercation could have happened, which it did, involving him, and things would have things happen. I don't I don't agree with the whole motorcycle club jumping this dude inside the restaurant, because now I'm gonna fault the owner, because now it's gonna be a liability on that business. I know if something like that happened in Detroit, you would have had so many activists, and I'm not saying that they don't have activists there. They would have had so many activists making an issue and getting ready to shut that place down. They've done it so many different times here, man, when it comes down to racial injustice for, business owners against, their patrons. They'll shut a business down. And that guy standing tall by not, addressing. I mean, he's like in the catch-22, man. And I say that to a degree, because if he tells and he speaks up, what comes along with it, the backlash, the possible threats, the possible anything. Me, on the other hand, man, I'm going to try to play that stuff the best legal way that I can play it, man. I'm going to teach you. It's another way that I can probably go at you, man. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. And that's going to be through the pockets. I'm going to hold that business accountable for it even happening there. But then again, I'm not even there or I wasn't there to know the full story. I'm only going off of the video.
Well, here we go. Frank told me I deleted his comment. I don't delete comments, Frank. I just didn't see it. There's a whole lot of comments flying. He tried to get out of paying his bill, he says in all caps. Well, you know something, where do we see him trying to get out of paying his bill? This happens. You get accused of something. So I've seen this playbook. I'm old. I'm older than all y'all. I'm 62. I've seen this playbook many times. A white dude accuses you of some ungodly shit. He raped a white woman. Next thing you know, you're surrounded by a mob and carried the hell away. In this particular case, he gets accused of not paying his bill. But if we look at this video, where is it that he is refusing to pay his bill? What I don't.
Well, that's subjective, because we don't know what went on before that.
We got video. So we got this guy standing right here. And at one point, he walks a certain distance from the bar and somebody screams, "You're going to pay your bill." Is that evidence that he didn't pay his bill, Frank? Is that evidence? Here we go. So we're looking right here. The man is standing up with his arms crossed. I don't see him particularly arguing with anybody. I'm not paying my bill.
Dragon, I want to say that in the comments on one of those videos, people that were there quoted the man as saying, "I have money. I don't have a problem paying my bill. I just want to pay the correct amount." And that's listed if you go through the comments on that video. The second one, not the one from the news channel Wayne, but the other one from whoever actually took it. It's on Reddit. They say that he said, "I have money. I don't have a problem paying my bill. I want to pay the correct amount." So this was a discussion or a debate or a dispute between how much I'm paying, not that I'm not paying. The guy clearly, he's got a work vest on, so clearly he's working. But my point is this, is whether he did or didn't pay his bill, it was none of the business of those guys that jumped him. That was an excuse to jump him, just like you said, in your 62 years, you've seen it again and again and again. This was any excuse will do to jump on this black man, period. That's what that was. So Frank is doing just like a lot of the folks do, is if it was Trayvon Martin, why was he walking through the neighborhood? He deserved to get it. That's basically what you're saying, that it's okay. If that man had gotten killed, Frank would be saying, "Oh, it's okay to kill him because he didn't pay his bill." So at what point does a dispute about a bill in a bar equal you got to take a trip to the hospital?
Well,
it doesn't.
yeah, if they felt they're seriously about it, they could have just held him till the cops got there, which is what they could have done if they could have made a citizen's arrest. But anyway, I hear you, Frank. Frank Neely said I did not hear it on this. I did hear it on this version. This isn't the version I saw it from a different angle. Yeah, there were a few versions out there floating and a few different angles out there. So Rockstar says Trump signs don't always suggest a problem, but I hear you though. Chicago check-in. What's up, Chicago? YouTube filters comments sometimes. Yeah, YouTube does, but I don't. There's no time, if you're being reasonable, that you're going to get your comment taken off the platform. It takes a whole lot for me to remove a comment, like if you're just being stupid or something like that. But Frank Samatera knows me. He gets mad at me all the time, and ain't nobody taking your comment off. Our city is mixed fairly evenly. That's why it's such a huge story. Everyone gets along here. That's why he was at that bar. Okay, so there you go. Frank Neely, that's up there, said everybody gets along here. That's why he was at that bar. We don't have these issues. Y'all need the other video. Yeah, we
see,
need the other
you see
video.
that you just skipped through? Anthony Banks said he was there.
I did skip that. Well, Anthony Banks, you were there. You seen the whole thing. Call, man. Call us up. Tell us what you saw. 404-692-0336. Anthony's on here every day.
Let me say something. Can I say something? And yeah. We said this behind scenes, and I'm gonna comment. Is Big Bone still there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
right
I'm gonna say this. I don't want you to get mad like I be making old Black Dragon mad. Just because you was in the Navy don't mean that all the other military branches didn't have situation awareness. Oh, you was in the Marines.
I was not in the Navy. I was not. No, man.
Do not call that war dog in the Navy. Devil dog, whatever they call them. I call them sickums. That's what we used to do in the Navy. We used to kick them out of our ships onto Guadalcanal, onto the beachfront. Sick them. We're going back.
Us hardcore Air Force guys had situation awareness as well, especially in terrorist-controlled areas. Anyway,
Loki said, "Black Dragon, be real. Outlaws ain't doing no damn citizens arrest."
But you know what I see here, though? When you read the news, Black Dragon, not to bring up our old story of what happened in Atlanta
And I
with
did
those
say
with
I
those
did say
ladies.
that, Motogato. I've said
With
that
the
before. Yeah, I was being facetious. I didn't think that,
gonna do that to me?
I was being
How you
facetious.
gonna
Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro.
how you gonna do that to me? Okay,
I'm sorry.
just like what happened to those ladies when that altercation happened, not happened in the other incident. This lady, her bar is closed. They don't know when it's gonna open again, and now they got semi protests out in front. So the establishment is now harmed because of these what these guys did inside their
Okay.
place.
Anthony Banks is saying something that I heard,
What's that?
but I wasn't. This is the first confirmation I've had of it.
There for hours.
And that was okay. So if you read the story, it said the initial call was for a drunk person that needed to be removed. And then he said, and then the Outlaws were called. So something that I had heard was that some kind, I don't know if this is true or not, but the Outlaws have been called, were called, let's see,
Then
but he
the
was just
owner
argued
called the
forever. Then the
Outlaws.
owner called the Outlaws. So I had heard that some kind of way the owner knew the Outlaws or something like that. I had heard that, but I didn't say that because I didn't have any proof of it. But Anthony Banks here that was there said that's what happened. But I don't know how the owner could have called the Outlaws if the story says that the owner wasn't there.
And look, let me tell you why. So two things. Could something like that have taken place ever? Here's the thing. I have personally received phone calls from either owners or managers of a bar because of a situation and they needed some help or needed somebody to address it. There's certain establishments that don't call 911 at all. They're going to call their local favorite one percenter, right? And the reason for that is that every time as a bar, every time you call the police, that goes in a log, and there's a record of it saying, oh, this bar has so many, they have X number of incidents at this particular bar, and then they say, hey, this is a bad place, we got to keep an eye out for it. So then later on, when city council goes to shut the place down, they cite all of these different times that they called 911. So certain establishments don't want to call the police at all.
And
They're
then
going to call.
somebody here says it's not uncommon for bars to pay for protection. That's nothing new. And
Now, here's the thing, though, about that, though. Whilst it's not uncommon for establishments to have those sort of relationships and to reach out and like that, realistically, how long would this guy have been arguing about a bill to have enough time to contact the owner who wasn't there, and that owner to contact some motorcycle club people, and those people to actually get there, and the whole thing? It seemed to me like they were already there.
well, Anthony,
Yeah.
That was there. He said that guy was there for hours and was very argumentative. He was told over an hour before that to leave, but he just argued forever. Then the owner called the Outlaws. Mr. Jones said the owner called the Outlaws and not the cops.
Did you see what Anthony said? He says the dude
Anthony
would have
said,
left.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Then Anthony said the bartender called the cops. So the owner called the Outlaws, the bartender called the cops. We know the cops were called because the story said the cops were originally called to remove a drunk patron. So we read that in the story. So then he goes on to say, Anthony Banks goes on to say, and Anthony was there. He's on our show every single solitary morning. He said, dude would have left, but he said that the bill wasn't right. So it seems like there was a lot of angst and anger in the club by the time the Outlaws got there. And yeah, so what I love about this show is we learn. It's hard to believe that we have folks watching the show that were actually there. That's crazy.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Frank Neely says, I'm not issuing blame. I'm just saying I have watched this morph into something it's not by the media. Yeah. Well,
that's part of the course, though, isn't it? But one thing that, and even though all of these, the leading up to all of that's very interesting.
Now, Anthony
However,
Banks, hold on. Anthony Banks
okay,
says this dude is a regular and he's a pretty nice guy, but just very argumentative, which wasn't good that day. And he said the
yeah,
Outlaws are the security there.
okay. So
So there you
here's the
go.
thing: if they're the security, then why are the police investigating and haven't been able to identify them yet? If they're the actual security there, but
Somebody
the
called the
other thing I
cops.
would say is, yeah, the thing that I'd look at is this: is that looking at the video, like if you turn the sound off and you don't hear the hard R or anything else, right? If you just look at what's taking place and you look at who put hands on who first, let's take it back to like the fifth grade, right? Like he touched me first. And according to the law, assault is when one person puts their hands on another person. You can actually assault someone in certain cases without even touching them. This ain't one of them times. That man was minding his business for whatever his business was, and he was approached by, surrounded by, and then had hands put on him from other folks. He, at that point, commenced to defending himself very well, I might add. He was defending himself from an attack of folks who wasn't wearing a badge and who didn't have on a "I'm the security here" t-shirt. Now, I'm
Mhm.
not getting into the club or not the club or anything else because that ain't my concern. My concern is that one black man, for whatever, he could have been the biggest asshole in North America. He was a customer, and at some point he must have been a paying customer if we believe what the caller or what the gentleman just said. He was a regular, normally a nice guy, so clearly he's a customer. He was a customer there. If he had been there for hours, he's a customer. Wouldn't no problems, even if he was an asshole. He could be the biggest ass in North America that didn't constitute the actions that took place after those folks put their hands on him. And I'm just saying the individuals, I'm separating them from their organization because it wasn't that whole entire organization. It was a few people who happened to be a part of a certain organization, or so you would believe based on what they were wearing. But and I'm being all careful and all like that because I am who I am and all like that. I don't want to get into none of that shit. But as a black man, I'm saying to myself, I'm watching a video play out right now. As a black man, I'm saying like this: situational awareness, man. It's like I'm not gonna go into a place called the David Duke Cafe with Trump signs and Confederate flags outside and think that everything is cool, even if I did go there 5 or 10 times before. Maybe I went there at the right time, but it only takes once, right? It
Well,
only takes
well,
once.
well,
And
if
it takes
hold on,
it
hold on,
it
hold on, hold on,
gives.
hold on, hold on.
Okay.
If what they say is okay, so if what the man says, we don't have these problems here. This is not normally a problem. Everybody hangs out here. This is a place where everybody gets down. If that's what he's saying, and that we have every reason to believe Anthony Banks. He says outlaws are the security there. That's why they were called. The man was there over an hour. The man was argumentative. He's a good guy, but he's just very argumentative. And so I just don't necessarily think that he was particularly in a place that was just maybe so completely hostile. If everybody goes there and that's something that happens. Now, if the owner likes Trump and wants to put up a Trump sign, that's what the owner put up. Would that particularly make me not go there? I live in Georgia. That stuff is everywhere here. This is the South. That stuff is here. When I first moved to Georgia, the flag had a Confederate emblem on the flag. It didn't. If I go to Stone Mountain Park, there's Confederate generals 40 stories tall. So if that's how you're going to be, you couldn't go anywhere. So
Well, I'm farther south than you, and my state
yeah,
flag is still basically the Confederate flag. Right? I mean, have you seen the state flag of Florida? It's
no,
basically
no,
the
I have
Confederate
not.
flag with less red. But here in this place, we've had sundown towns up until as recent as 15 years ago. So I'm with it. And I'm not suggesting that this place is 24/7 always hostile or any of those other sort of things. But there are There are warnings, there are precursors, all kinds of things that would have suggested. And see, the problem with us, us meaning black folks, some of us get comfortable. We get comfortable and we forget. Like, I don't want to sound like a 1922 racist, but sometimes we get too comfortable and we forget our place. And what I mean by that is forgetting our place means that at the end of the day, he is still a big black man who, if you look at those guys that jumped on him, they were all some pretty little dudes.
Or is this the Florida state flag with
the Confederate flag looking thing?
This big X in it? Is this really the Florida flag?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man. Yes, that's the Florida flag, and yeah, that's it. And the thing is, and if you look at our governors, like, this is a state where it's now illegal to teach African American history, or you risk going to jail. This is a place where you remember they were talking about don't say gay in Florida. Well, no, you can't say African American studies either, because you'll go to jail. Florida has become a very hostile place for black folks and brown folks specifically. But I can tell you that this guy, no matter how we slice it and dice it, and no matter how many times he had been there before, at the end of the day, that hard R that Frank didn't hear, it's been there waiting. I addressed the Florida State Senate with a guy who was a member of Bikers for Trump. In fact, there was the national president of Born to Ride 45 Bikers for Trump, and there were some other folks that were there. They were all, right-wingy Trump fans. One of them guys said he was a former Klansman, but we were working on the same subject. And I've said many a time, I'll work with the devil if we're working for the same good goal, right? So the fact that he had been there a time or two and with some smiles and hey, how you doing, doesn't mean that underlying, that right below the surface of the hey, how you doing, come on in, doesn't mean that under the right circumstances, they don't put that hood back on. And that's what you saw in that video. It is naive of us as black folks to think that this stuff doesn't exist and that, well, golly, that doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does mean a thing. And I said one time before that I'm not suggesting at all that all white folks are racist. I'm certainly not suggesting.
Do we not attribute anything to the fact that the man may have refused to pay his bill? Could that have got his ass whooped?
Or he disputed his bill. Who doesn't dispute a bill? I dispute a bill all the time. But that doesn't mean call your well, here in this case your local MC club or your enforcers to come in. Yeah, force me to either pay the bill, or if I was drunk, escort my behind out, push me out the door. But don't just have about 15 people jump on me, kick me in my face, and elbow me, put me to sleep. Because guess what? Amen. You still ain't getting your bill paid.
Amen.
No, but listen, at that point, church, they're not expecting to be paid. At that point, the payment was the ass whooping, which they, I'm sure, felt very great about that.
And Reverend, say to the Reverend, if the Reverend's an actual Reverend, I wanted to.
Well, the Reverend is an actual Reverend. That was horrible.
You got the wrong name on it. Huh? It says Logic for the Reverend on the screen.
Yeah. That's my biker name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad.
But no, not bad. Come on, you didn't forget Logic that fast, did you? Or you just didn't know Logic was a pastor?
I did not know that Reverend was a Logic. I'm like,
okay, yeah, right now. Yeah, they call me Pastor Logic. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right. Oh, okay. See, I was just going Logic. I didn't do the proper title. But having said that, I'll tell you like this: the black church, especially I can't say especially in the South, but I know the black church in the South was always the barometer. It was the true North Star of how you needed to behave out in the world, both from a religious standpoint and from a social standpoint. And the black church, if they have taught us nothing, it was to leave them folks alone. And when they let you know what time it is, now see, once upon a time, there was, everybody sort of knew, sundown town, stay away from that. We had a green book and everything. But now the lines have become blurred because of disinformation and a whole lot of other stuff. So we have a certain group of black folks who don't really adhere to the lessons of the past because they're so far removed from it, right? It's been 60 years. It's been 60 years since well, let me say it this way. The only black folks that have been born with all their rights, all their civil rights, just like white folks and everybody else, just like all the rights, they're all 60 years old and younger. If you're older than 60 years old, when you were born, black people didn't have all of the rights. You know, the right to vote wasn't that long ago. Remember, like for black people to actually have the right unencumbered to vote, that wasn't that long ago. When I was born, you know, what's that, Virginia v. Loving, the thing where the white man wanted to marry the black woman, that happened within my lifetime. I could go on and on with that. But my point about it is that we're very quick to dismiss the signs, the cues, and the information. I'm not saying that man shouldn't have been able to go wherever he wanted to go, but I am saying that it should not have been a surprise to him, and not even a little bit, with the information that he had visually from going into that place. I was saying earlier that not all Trump supporters are racist, but pretty much all the racists are Trump supporters. So when you see a giant sign up there like that, that sign ain't up there because they voted.
Well, but
That sign's up
you're
there.
not
let me say,
you're
you
not
know what?
listening
But
to the
if you flip
person.
this,
Hold on a minute. You're not
Okay.
listening to the person that was there. He says in our town we don't have this as an issue. That's why it's so big here. This is a mixed race bar. There are people there of all colors. He said that. Yeah, he's there every day. He would know. So
I hear you. And they always say that after the fact, after it hits the news, they always say that. Like they always say about the serial killer, man, he seemed like such a nice guy. He's always such a nice guy after it goes to the news. And whenever these sort of things happen, there's somebody saying, oh, I never experienced that. But the people who say they never experienced that are never the subject of that. Like if you ask the black folks that go to that place, I'm sure any one of them would tell you, oh yeah, we go on certain nights because on certain nights, that's when all the black folks are. I mean, I don't know that for a fact,
I
but
used to hate
that's
this
been the
shit
experience.
I used to hate this shit when they used to do this to Obama. You have a group of guys in a bar and they beat the shit out of a guy. And the next thing you know, all of my white friends were like, this is Obama's fault. Obama wasn't in that fucking bar. Obama wasn't in that bar, and Trump wasn't there either.
I don't blame Trump.
This is really a situation of the people who whooped that guy's ass in the bar. But here we are off on some big political thing about Trump.
Let me say this. Can we flip? Watch this. Let's flip
I'm not blaming Trump.
Let's flip this real quick. If in my day, I ain't gonna say now because I haven't been there in a while, but in my day, if you came into our hood and it was all blacks, Puerto Ricans, and Jamaicans, and a white guy came in there, and 3-4 white guys came in, they'll be welcomed. But as soon as they did something negative, everybody in the club, everybody in the bar is gonna jump on them. So it'll work. It'll happen both ways. The thing is, how do you handle the situation? I'm to the understanding that if the Outlaw MC was the security, maybe they should have. I can't tell them what they should have done, what they can do, but maybe they should have just escorted the Joker out the doggone bar.
Big Bone is right about one thing. If the Outlaws MC is the security and the owner called them the security, well, absolutely, everything is set up for a horrible lawsuit for liability for the bartender, and so that has got to be definitely something that's going to be on their plate. Like you called your security, and they clearly just beat the hell out of the guy, and you're not supposed to do that. No matter what the case is, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to hold the guy, call the cops, whatever. And we know biker clubs don't do that, but you know, this does.
Some people take advantage of a situation. Some people take advantage of the situation and then worry about the outcome, the fallout later. You know, well, we'll worry about the fallout later. But then the fallout becomes more heavier than the situation than the beginning of the situation. He was a drunk guy, needed to pay his bill, get the heck out. But now you call the reinforcements. They come packed, and they come. They come in force, and they come to whoop somebody behind. They didn't care who it is. They go whoop somebody.
Soundproof 1%er paid $20 to have this comment. So we got to give him his time. Appreciate the donation. How long was he arguing about the bill until they had enough? I mean, arguing about a bill over an hour is a long time. Normally, people won't argue about their bill not much longer than maybe 5 minutes or 10, but over an hour if that's true. Listen, a drunk guy in a bar
argue all night long
can be very, very irritating. And by the time and if some of what Bone says is true, and this was not the right place, the situational awareness was not correct. This was not the right time or the right place to be doing that. And we have seen other stories where the Outlaws have been called and showed up to handle business over in Portland, Oregon, and they handled that damn business. And so that can happen. It seems to be what happens. There was more than one black person there. There was.
I saw a female. I saw a female in that video, and she looked like she was trying to separate them.
Yeah, and she probably deserves our Ain't No Punk award because where is she at, man?
She's gonna. You got to keep it going forward. She'll come in. She's in that orange shirt.
This lady here stepped in between.
There she is.
Come on, baby girl. Here she is right here. Look at her.
She's like, wait a minute now.
She's pushing that one outlaw off right there.
They did not hit her. Let me say that. They did not hit her.
That's very respectful.
They
very,
did not.
Very respectful.
They did not hit her, but they're kicking this poor dude in the face while he's down on the ground over and over again.
I'll say it let me say this as well, though, is that in regard to whether they were called or not called or whichever like that, that club and those guys, they do what clubs do, and they weren't coming there to, in most cases, they weren't escorting anybody out the door. I've gotten them calls before, and typically by the time I get the call, 9 times out of 10, it's past the let's just walk them out the door type of thing.
So Michael Irving has come in with Michael Irving has come in with a statement. They're not the security. They hang out there sometimes. The owner's husband is an outlaw supporter. So that's that's a little bit more clarification from somebody else. It's obviously there, Michael Irving in that area. Indiana folks are proud of a few things, but Lincoln fighting slavery and Indy 500. Okay, Drew. That's good to know.
Okay, thank you.
That's in my city. I just asked you last week if a club wore Nazi shit, and don't expect blacks if they exist. But oh no, Black Dragon said no. I know guys that wear it and are not racist. That doesn't change. I know guys that wear it. As a matter of fact, so does Bone. Bone knows guys that wear that and are friends with both of us.
Some of my best friends embrace some of that imagery. Like I personally don't, but I know these guys. I know a lot of guys from that club, and we are cool. Literally, I could say some of my best friends are members of that club.
No,
not that chapter, because I don't know none of those guys. But what I can tell you is those guys did as expected. I would say whoever called for all of that, I'm thinking this dude has a big lawsuit against that bar. That's what I think.
Now hold on. Now G-Dub, who just jumped on me, but oh no, Black Dragon said I know guys that wear. He just jumped on me, but he did make a point that I had forgotten to mention. He said James wasn't drunk, so maybe that's James. His name is James. For the first time, we might know his name. And he says James wasn't drunk, but I do want to point this out that occurred to me when I was watching this video. I'm looking at a man here who is not slurring, or this man is standing upright. He does not look like what I expect a drunk person to look like. Let's go back and look at this.
Nope. He did not look drunk at all.
He does not look drunk to me, but some people hold their liquor back. But he's standing upright, and he didn't fight like no drunk, slurred up guy.
Nope.
Had it not,
Certainly
See
didn't.
that first punch right there is what started off. The other guys were taking him back to the bar to pay his bill, and
Yeah.
that one guy just felt
yeah,
I'm
that
just gonna
guy
I'm
got
just
a
gonna
little
cold cock
aggressive
him.
and just punched him, sucker punched.
Yeah,
And
because they just said no, you gotta pay your bill
Right
Yeah.
there. He
right
punched him.
there.
and then
When he punched him,
he tried to take that guy's block off. He came like, "You're not punching me in here." And then look at him. He's trying to get at that guy. And had it just been those two, and this is what happened. I mean, but if you're in the biker club world, one fights, we all fight. And so that's not uncommon. You're not going to get to fight one person. Clubs are not there to be fair. They're there to win. So Anthony says he was arguing for 2 hours, and he was told to leave and pay his bill. Then he was arguing about the bill. So he wasn't arguing about the bill for 2 hours. He was arguing, just being argumentative. And as we got the story from the newspaper, they said there was a call the bartender called the police to remove a drunk guy. I can't believe they did that in their cut, says Antoine. Yeah, that is interesting. We ain't the South. Please remember that, says Drew. 20 dudes stomping a black dude while yelling the N-word seems kind of racist. Mr. Jones?
Thank you. How about that?
Mr. Jones. I have to agree with you, but Hollywood told me
Tar Heel, no, the bill probably didn't get paid.
No, I don't think the beer got paid. So is a black racist a Trump supporter too, says Big Joe.
Oh, can I answer? Let me do it.
Teacher, let me do it.
I'll tell you. Most typically, let me go ahead and make all, I call them black maggots, like BLACK maggots, MAGA, small t, small s, black maggots. And then what I mean by that is this, and we're not going to get all political about it.
I think
Dragon don't want me to do that.
Yeah, I think the all political has happened. So
but
anyway,
to answer that question, a black Trump supporter overwhelmingly is an individual who, for whatever reason, first of all, they're contrarianistic.
No,
right?
Bone, you have missed what this guy is saying.
Oh, okay.
He said, is a black racist a Trump supporter too?
Well,
he means,
man, I'm glad you said that.
means a black racist who is racist against white people. Not particularly a black racist who is a Trump supporter.
That's a good that's a good question.
So you said all racists. You said not all Trump. What did you say?
You said not all Trump supporters.
I said not all Trump supporters are racist, but all racists are Trump supporters.
So Big Joe says, well, is a black racist a Trump supporter? Because obviously a black racist is not a Trump supporter if he's a racist.
Well, actually, not true. And I would love to help you with that.
You cannot argue that in with that argument, because if
want to bet,
because a black racist that hates white people would not be a Trump supporter.
No. Wait. Let me help you out with that, because I have talked to these people, so I know the answer to it. So here's the thing. A lot of these people, as I was saying a moment ago, are very contrarianistic, as in the reason that they are because there are certain people who just like arguing. They like taking the attitude or the opinion that goes against the grain or against the norm. So a black racist, and I'm assuming that he's talking about a black guy who don't like white people, which that in and of itself, the definition of racist is a whole other thing, which we'll touch on another time. But here's the thing. Considering that up until we only ever had two realistic candidates for president, has been either Barack Obama, obviously, and Jesse Jackson. Now, Jesse Jackson, ironically enough, because of racism, shot himself in the foot when he made that comment about Jews in New York and took himself out of the race. But the thing is, we've only ever had white men to vote for as far as president. So a black racist, if he elects to vote for whomever, 9 times out of 10, he's voting for a white man if he actually votes in a presidential election. So, and I think his question was whether a black racist was
a Trump supporter.
Wait a minute. Right.
The answer is very simple. A black racist that hates white people is not a Trump supporter. There's no way around that.
No, I'm telling you that a black racist, and first of all, there's no such thing as a black racist, because the
But there
definition of
are
racism.
black people who are prejudiced, and that's what he's trying to say.
Yes.
Racism is systemic, sure, but there are black people that are prejudiced, that don't like white people, and they are not Trump supporters. What this man was doing was calling you out that not all racists are Trump supporters. There are black racists, and they ain't Trump supporters. So I know you're not going to call the folks in your neighborhood that you grew up with that hated white people. I know you're not fixing to sit here and call them Trump supporters.
I grew up with mostly white folks.
Well, I grew up in neighborhoods that had black folks that hated white folks just as much as they had white folks that hated black folks. And I wouldn't dare sit up here and call any of those folks racist, or not racist, but I wouldn't call them Trump supporters, because they absolutely are not.
Yeah, but what do you call these black folks who vote for Trump, who basically
But he wasn't talking about those. He wasn't talking about those.
Black people who don't like white people, are they Trump supporters?
No.
Some of them are.
Well, I imagine maybe some of them are, but for the most part, no.
But here's the thing, that still does not change my statement. So you can't say 100% on everything. It was a generalized statement, which is overwhelmingly correct. If we're talking about the American neo-Nazi, the American Neo-Nazi Association, or what do they call it? The North American Neo-Nazi Association, they supported Trump.
Yeah,
Breitbart supports Trump.
So you remember that guy?
David Duke supports Trump. We could go down the list.
You remember that guy who was running the group of brothers that came out here to Stone Mountain to hold?
That group.
I remember that guy.
He's not no Trump supporter.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting that he is.
Well,
what I'm saying, though, you're trying to say that a black person who responds to oppression. So, like, here's the thing: if you had a dog that you kicked every day, and finally that dog decided that he hates being kicked, and anybody who might kick him he hates, you're going to call that dog a bad dog, or is he just a dog who's sick of getting kicked all the time? Malcolm X explained that there's no such thing as a black racist, because in order to be a racist,
but we know that
you have to be.
We know that.
Right.
He was saying
I don't buy into the black racist.
He was saying that the guy was what he was saying was, there are black people that are prejudiced, and you might call them racist or whatever you want to call them. They are prejudiced and they hate black people. That's what he was talking about. That's the context.
We're not talking about them.
That's the context. And what he was saying was,
y'all got way off the topic.
Yeah, we're way off the topic.
Way off the topic.
I tell you.
It's his fault, though. It's his fault. He asked that question.
It's whose fault?
The guy that asked that question, because he knows I was right, and he's just trying to find a way.
He knew you, and he knew Black Dragon.
He caught you on a devil's advocate question, and he got you, and you want to argue.
He did not get me.
You want to double
if
down?
There's five of them.
You
five black guys. I'm going to quadruple down on it. I'm going to pull a Trump. I'm going to quadruple down on it.
You sure can. You can't pull what you hate. That's interesting. There was more than one black person there, says Anthony. Okay, Anthony also goes, okay, so G-Dub says, this is in my city. I just asked you okay, we already read that one.
We read that one.
Jumped on me. Anthony Banks says he was arguing for 2 hours. Okay, he was told to pay his bill. Okay, we said that. And then he said, he goes on to tell us,
look at him.
The bartender was talking to James about a rental. The bartender is a property manager or something, I guess. Then the racist started putting their bill on him. Somebody said, interestingly enough, if you're drunk,
there you go.
There you go.
Somebody earlier said, interestingly enough, if you're drunk, maybe you don't know how much the bill was. So the 1%ers bikers are security, and I'm white, I'm not going in. If the 1%er bikers are security and I'm white, I'm not going in.
Look at that, Aguara Jones. I live around the corner. I live around the corner. It's 11:23 your time.
11:23. And after all this, did the bar bill get paid?
No,
No.
that's why I answered that. Yeah. No.
Okay, we're getting there. He wanted to throw a birthday party there, and that's what started the argument. Okay, so they were arguing about other stuff. Take care, Miss Lotus. Bottom line, you don't be a punk in a bar. Yeah, Frank Samatero, you're absolutely right about that, because you can get your ass whooped because of it, and we've seen that happen before. Let's see. What do you think
11:23.
What do you think about black fatigue? I don't know what that is. I saw that written the other day, black fatigue, and I need to look it up because I don't know what it is.
This is not a case of black fatigue at all.
Well, I don't know what black. Can someone help me? I don't know what black. I'll look it up. And looking at the video, it is very clear that the guy looked tipsy. That's not clear to me.
No, not at all.
Clearly, it looks from the scene that he was off work and stopped in the bar to have some drinks. He was there for 2 hours. Yeah, but I'm not. I can't say that he didn't look tipsy to me. But you know, who can tell sitting at this angle? But he did. He looked like he was strong on his feet to me. And I've seen drunk people fight, and he wasn't fighting like somebody that was just completely torn up from toe up from the flow up.
Not at all.
Go watch some go watch some interviews with the Grand Wizards of the KKK. They don't like Trump. Yeah, I haven't seen those videos, but maybe I'll go see. Yeah, because
Black MAGA.
Yeah, because they switched the definition of racist about 8 years ago. Somebody said, "Put on that Dave Chappelle skit." Yeah, that was a funny one.
Yeah,
where is the one you want me to look at? You said
11:23. 11:23 from Agbara Jones. If I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, please forgive me. I never heard it said.
What does this have to do with the mob of outlaws beating a black man while they screamed racial slurs? Not anything, and that's why I didn't want to get off on that. 11:22, 11:23.
Keep going. I see you coming down. Keep coming down. Keep coming down. Next one.
Here we go. Regula Jones. I live around the corner from the bar and down the street from the clubhouse. Tensions are high here. Oh, I bet they are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. None of the outlaws were screaming the N-word. This is something else that I was going to tell you guys earlier. Hollywood told me that was a guy in the crowd screaming the N-word, not the outlaws.
Not the outlaws.
I noticed that. That is a fact.
Is that a fact?
Yeah,
that came because all the outlaws were on top of the guy or on the other side where the lady from the orange was trying to push him off him.
I thought it was an outlaw in the background screaming the N-word.
Well, no, it was the tall white guy.
So Anthony was there, and Anthony says none of the outlaws were screaming the N-word. So then maybe it's just a case.
Now you know some people, if y'all coming from the background or from the hood, the person that screams the loudest, beat his gun, get him, is the only one that can't fight.
Yep.
Lieber King says something interesting here. The devil don't need no advocates.
Exactly. Well said.
You screaming from the background, yeah, Big Bone, get him, get him, Big Bone. He's like, no, won't you come over and get him? Well, see what happened is.
Desert Multicam 702 said the black guy who got beat down at the bar, it wasn't because he was black. He messed around and found out in a biker bar. Pay your bill. Well, once again, it's no guarantee that he wasn't paying his bill. What we know now is he was arguing about how much the bill was and never got a chance to get past that argument because he got the shit kicked out of him. Brothers are there are brothers that don't like Mexicans as much as they hate white people. Yeah, that you're right, DCL. Thank you, Black Dragon and Bone, 1%er. Trump supporters are just that, supporters. That doesn't mean their beliefs are 100% with him, nor does that mean they are or are not prejudiced. And most people want an excuse to act unruly in the first place, says DJ Dilly. It's not worth it. DSTR, we are outnumbered. Black Dragon, the hot beer that bartenders give certain folks to let them know you ain't wanted. Ain't the tab game. Tab game was played on James. It may well have been.
But we don't know.
We don't know. James certainly thought it was. I grew up where black people hate Mexicans. And so this thing just turns into, we got to admit it. And one of the first things that Hollywood did when I popped up on the scene, Hollywood from Insane Throttle, was I caught so much racial animus when I popped up on the scene as Black Dragon Biker TV. Back then it was called Black Dragon National President. I caught so much shit. Hollywood was doing videos about race relations and how I should be accepted way back 10 years ago when I started. So, man, this is absolutely permeates. Because as a black man looking at that video, I'm so angry. I can't see anything other than this black man is getting rat packed by a mob style lynching kind of thing. And and white people see it like, that guy didn't pay his bill. And this is just how polarly opposite we are in this country.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about America is that, at least for now, we still have free speech. You know,
Somewhat.
now we still have it now. But I will say this, is that even though I advocate for black folks to get a fair shake and for genuine equality, I advocate for that. I'm proud, I'm black and all that kind of stuff, right? I am I'm the black doggone chairman of the COC, which is for years was all white. My first COC meeting, I was met with racism where a dude tried to tell me I was in the wrong place, I was lost and all this other kind of stuff. Dragon, I know you've heard that story before. But the thing is, though, is I work with people of all races all the time. So I'm not a racist, but I do call BS, and I do call when something is done wrong against whomever, whether you be white, black, or plaid, I'm going to call it out. So I'm not going to pretend like racism doesn't exist or that it doesn't exist more in one area than it does the other. And I know it ruffles some feathers when I pointed out about the Trump sign and all that kind of stuff. But I also saw during the Republican National Convention in 2020 how they beat up and smacked around that black dude and threw him out while yelling the N-word and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist in certain political arenas, right? It does. I mean, and it's just false. It would ring incorrect or untrue for those of us that are being honest with ourselves. However, having said that, this was a situation whereas, unfortunately, this situation went down the way it did. I feel like if that man had better situational awareness, maybe it wouldn't, but who knows?
Well, all kinds of situational awareness, like not arguing, maybe not even going in there.
Absolutely. That's a part of it.
And especially
stay in your lane.
If he's a regular there, then he would know or should know that those guys are security or whatever, or at least hang out there, or whatever the case may be. No, Arguella Jones says people are saying it was the bar owner's boyfriend, a well-known club supporter. And that is something that I heard. I didn't put that out because I had no way of verifying that, but that is something that I had also heard that had been told to me by folks on the inside, but with no way to corroborate that. I just didn't put it out there. Being a white guy, I've had white clubs, some say some irritating things to me. It is amazing what people will say when they think you are the same or when they don't think you speak the same language. It is kind of crazy. Black fatigue is a racist term. It's just a term that shows disgust for low-class behavior. Oh, that's what I've been seeing on TikTok, on X lately. I've been seeing that a lot when they'll show these videos, and there's this one guy that has been showing all the videos of black people acting the worst that they can be. And I saw a couple times this term black fatigue there. I just never took the time to look it up. So now I understand it better. Black fatigue is a racist term. It's just a term that shows disgust for low-class behavior, but they're using black people as scapegoats because of the popularity of ghetto stereotypes that are being sold now. Because every time I see one of those videos of that behavior, I could just go find a trailer park one just 2 minutes later. But it does seem to be a list of black folks acting bad, and they are acting bad when you see those videos. They're horrible. The victim is a regular at the bar. Too many rumors about what actually started it. It's hard to really know. Yeah, as with every story we'll ever do. And does a guy yelling the N word is the guy yelling the N word is Zuber, the bar owner's fiance, who is their number one employer, says G Dub. And I don't know anything about that. So if
I'm
that's
glad that Argula referred to him as the victim, because in the situation, he was a victim, but hey, he's also a G, because he didn't tell when the police asked who did it,
Yeah.
he gave them nothing. So
And
I
you know
respect
what?
that.
You know what, Big Bone?
Yeah, he
Because
stayed
if
to the
if
game.
if if everything they say is true, if he's a regular at that bar, he's seen the Outlaws in that bar before.
yeah. So you would have
Yeah,
thought that
sure.
he would know
Yeah,
not to
he's
be
seen. If
doing
he's
all
a
that.
regular, he's seen them there. That's not the first time they came.
Yeah,
Especially if the
right, exactly.
bartender's a supporter. You know.
Yeah.
So DCL, what Big Bone is arguing is that racist. So black folks can't be racist because we don't own the systems that put down racism. So we can be prejudiced and we can racially hate, but the racist term. So when he's saying black folks aren't racist, he's not saying that there aren't black folks that hate white people, but black folks don't own the systems in this country to put down the oppression of racism on anybody. So that it's really a nuance in the term, because most people think of racist as somebody who hates one side or the other, but racism is a system of behaviors that are normally run by the group that's in charge or the society that's running shit. So that it's kind of a parsing of words. So he's not saying that there aren't black people that hate white people, DCL. So
Right. Well, DCL was talking about black people hating Mexicans, and I got to tell you, that is a sad. And I don't think all black people hate Mexicans. I really don't believe that. I think that geographically, he must live out on the West Coast or something like that, because that is a thing that's been going on out there for decades, unfortunately. But just in the big picture of it, black folks and Mexicans absolutely have so much more in common than the little bit of hatred that one side versus the other side has against each other. I have a very good friend of mine who's Mexican. He's from LA, and he's discussed, man, over there Mexicans hate black people. And he told me all the words they have for them and everything. So it goes both ways, but it's so ignorant for black folks and Mexicans to be hating, or anybody for that fact, but black people and Mexicans especially ought to get on the same page, because the oppression, the systemic racism goes both ways, and we're seeing that a lot over the past few months. So if anybody ought to get it right, it ought to be blacks and Latinos, or
well,
Hispanics, or Chicanos, depending on where you are in the world, how you want to call it.
there is absolutely a lot of hate out there between so many of our groups. Pale Pride says most blacks don't believe they can be racist in the same way as they experience. Well, if you look at the definitions of, if you look at the definitions of racism and stuff like that, most black people can't be racist. They can hate and they can be prejudiced. We've already explained this, but the idea of racism, if you parse those words, is one group will have the ability to make it happen on a systemic level, and that's what racism is. Now, I don't know. Maybe something. I'm going to look up the term racist real quick just to make sure I'm not saying this wrong. I like to be.
We had an hour and 14 minutes.
You know what, Bone? I think we're wrong. Racist is characterized by showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. A person who is prejudiced or against or antagonist toward people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized.
Minority or
There you go. That's the minority or marginalized. But there's also other definitions of racism that literally suggest who has the ability to be racist.
So
if I don't
racist
run
and
the country-
racism are two different things.
Yes.
Racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial. Typically, one that is. So wait a minute. That's damn
One
near.
is institutional. One is institutional. One is individualized. Racism versus racist.
Mm-hmm. So a person, an individual, can be a racist. I don't want to get. I got to
You
think
off
about
target.
it.
You off
I
target.
we're getting ready.
Y'all said, look, y'all said we ain't gonna go down the rabbit hole. Y'all went down the rabbit hole and kept digging. Or we did.
Can we talk about bikers and motorcycles? Let's talk about motorcycles.
No, you wanted to talk about the stop sign.
I just wanted to make the one point.
From Eastern Canada, I'm from Eastern Canada. I certainly don't think a thing would happen here, but I could be naive. And if they did, hopefully they'd be a number of people stand up and stop such a thing. No, we don't typically read about this sort of thing happening in Canada.
You know what? You don't call. You don't call. I mean, I'm trying to phrase this correctly so I won't get in trouble.
Okay, no.
You don't call people. If I was given a favor, let's say one of the I hooked up with one of the OMCs, whoever it is, and they say, "Hey, Logic, if you ever need us, here's a card. Call us." And I get into it with a dude. I'm not gonna call them because I can't handle this one dude. Because they're gonna come and Logic, our boy, they're gonna come with force, and now maybe they're gonna do something that I wouldn't want to happen to any human being.
You're not gonna do that, but the whole idea behind support clubs is when you
that
call.
That wasn't a support club. The bartender, they say the bartender was a support club.
That's support bar, or whatever the case may be. When you call, the boys come running. And
but then you don't have no control over what they do. Now, if everybody's out there in the chat room, I'm saying if this bar suffers a lawsuit or even being closed down, was that phone call worth it?
Well,
now I've lost my establishment.
Yeah, well, and the bar is closed down for right now.
So was that phone call?
It might have been. They wanted to get that guy up out of there. He's gone.
I bet that owner ain't thinking that right now.
Hold on, Braylon Stewart brings up a point here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to help him with that.
And this is a point that I would bring up. Okay, so I've been around the Outlaws for about 5 years now, and I've never been disrespected by any of men I call my brothers. I'm one of the few black men in a support motorcycle club wearing a black and white support patch. Now,
come to Florida, you'll see it all over the place.
I have to say this, Bone, and this is my experience. I can only speak from my experience. I have never had personally. Now I've heard of people say things that are said about me, but I have not been personally disrespected by any of these clubs ever to my face.
Let me tell you, some of the outlaws are some of my, and I mean this sincerely, some of my best friends. Anybody that knows me will tell you that is nothing but the gospel. To Braylon Stewart, I got to tell you, I don't know where you live, but here in Florida, it is not uncommon at all to see black guys with outlaw support patches with whole entire clubs being outlaw support clubs. It's not uncommon at all. Not even a little bit. Nor
is it uncommon to see black men in Texas with Bandito support patches.
That is true. That is true. I'm in Texas. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, and let me tell you, when I had some trouble a few weeks ago, and my old lady had 2 phone numbers to call. my lawyer, and my brother, who happens to be an outlaw. Now I'm in a whole different club we wear the same jewelry, but two different clubs. We are not beholden to each other because of the club, even though our clubs get along great and we're real tight and all like that, right? But so this is not a racist thing in regard to the MCs. I'm saying that there was at that bar, I felt like there was some racist activity going on, hard R and all that kind of stuff. But that's not a reflection on the club. That's on the MC I'm referring to. That's a reflection on that particular place and possibly some of the folks in it. But let's not try to paint the club with that brush.
Well,
if it was
yeah.
1942, that might be a different conversation. But in 2025, that's just not the rule of thumb. It just really isn't.
Well, last night I did a whole video with Hollywood of Insane Throttle, where we were raising money for an outlaw's family who just died. I don't regret doing that show, but this was troubling. This incident with those people. So just like we don't want anybody painting our whole organization by the one or two people that might do something, I mean, it works all the way around. We're learning more about this from the people that live in that area. Anthony Banks says the owner's name was Kelly, and she wasn't there. And we read that in the news report. I didn't know what could have possibly happened that the owner would know if the owner wasn't there. So we learned that the bartender may have been the one to call the cops. And another thing that we're learning is, let's see, the bar has so many different races that go there, says Anthony, that's so it's not an all-white bar. Anyone could have got jumped on, but the Doug Zuber guy, who he claims is the guy who said the N-word, he said Doug Zuber is obviously a racist, is what he said. I believe this other person, I don't know how to say their name. I believe it has nothing to do with his bill. It has everything to do with his color, which is absolutely unacceptable as far as race. We're all from the human race. The human race, it has to be equal to under God. The definition, stop with this progressive script, says Pell Pride. Racism as a word didn't exist before 1900. Probably not. I'd have to look that up. The one screaming beat the N up and had on a Fort Wayne Outlaw shirt. So if he wasn't a member, he damn sure was a supporter. And that's why I thought it was an outlaw that said that, because I saw that shirt. I thought it was an outlaw that said it. Can a white president of a 99% club have a black old lady, and is it safe for her to go to events with the club? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why not?
I know some one percenters that are white who are married to black women. I know a few of them.
Well, he was asking about 99s though.
Oh,
I mean,
wait, what was the question? How's he?
Can a white president of a 99%er club have a black old lady, and is it safe for her to go on the events? Well, it's absolutely safe for you to come onto the black set.
Yep.
With your white woman, or with your black woman. I don't. I really can't speak 100% for the white set in terms of that. But if you wanted to come on the black set, no one would look at you crazy. There may be some.
There's a certain one percenter club. They have a very small presence here, but they actually have it in their bylaws that no black people are allowed in the clubhouse or riding in their train and so on and so forth. And they are very much ostracized from all the other clubs, Outlaws, my club, a number of them. We don't deal with those cats because that's what they're all about. They exist. Everybody knows who they are, but they're insignificant primarily because of that reason. Because Florida, ironically enough, as much as the government tries to one thing, Florida's a melting pot and a good one.
G-Dub says, how can you be a supporter of a white club if you're not allowed to join? Black can't join the black and white, so stay on your side of the tracks. But, not everybody that joins a support club has any intention of becoming a one percenter. So, whatever friendships you make, those are the friendships you make.
Mhm.
And whoever you call brother, they meet your standard of brother, whether you agree with everything that they do or not do. So
Well said.
Black Dragon, you know what? I spoke on mixed race in Florida, usually needing to be black set from your own Black Sabbath standing up in Orlando. The white set doesn't like accepting mixed race clubs. Oh, I do know that. I remember back in the early days when I would go and try to put my mixed race black club in certain cities. The white one percenter would come in and say, okay, we're going to take those white guys and you guys can come here, but we're going to be taking those white guys and then, the black guys can stay, but we'll be taking those guys from the club. I've seen all that kind of stuff. I've been around for that.
But listen, Jay cannot speak for, I know Jay, and we do this every now and then, but Jay cannot speak for the whole black set. A, Jay's not black. But B, that is what he's talking about. Orlando is its own little microcosm in the state of Florida. Orlando is not indicative of how the state operates. So whilst you might experience that in Orlando, or maybe you did experience that in Orlando, that's not indicative of the whole rest of the state. Because like in my area, for a fact, which Jay, you know this, that is not, if you look at our support clubs and so forth, it looks like the freaking United Nations. So you can miss me with all of that, what the black set does. I know what the black set does because I kind of run it. So there's that. And you know that, Jay, so stop playing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and you know that, John, so stop. I was like,
no, Jay's in Orlando. So he's speaking about his experience in Orlando, which is not, he can't say the whole state. I can say the whole state because I know the whole state and the whole, southern East Coast, if you want to be specific. But Orlando is not indicative of the rest of Florida.
Okay, people, we need some like buttons to be hit. You guys have been on here. We've been on here for an hour and 27 minutes. It's time for us to get the hell out of here, but we need some like buttons to be hit. If you don't mind hitting the like button for
it's only 52 people. It's only 52 likes, over 138 people watching.
Is there 52 likes? I only saw 10.
I just refreshed it, on my other screen.
That's what we got to do. We got to refresh. Hey, I hate this. Can you believe it? Damn Google is just took over. Where's the phone?
Talking to you. Yeah, Solid Black and Chris. You saw me. I told him I tried to get him out the rabbit hole, but once you get going, you get going.
You guys are getting off topic. This is 2025, and black men are still getting beaten up by white folks. Okay, so yeah, that's happening. I was just at a 1% bike night as a 99 and was actually received well by the Hells Angels.
See now, pale pride. You're gonna make me say something. Blacks can't fight as well as they think. Come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, this guy.
Come on.
Pale Pride is already.
Pale Pride has
in the name.
Been on one. Pale Pride has been on one for a few minutes. So we've been watching.
I just saw that.
Hey, yo, Pale Pride's been on one for a minute. I just been putting this comment up and keeping on. Sometimes people will do stuff to get you riled up and stuff. I'm not worried about that.
It's in the name, y'all. It's in the name. Come on now.
So he was doing okay. He wasn't doing bad, and then he's gotten progressively more progressive. Listen, you guys, I do want to say this. Make sure to hang out with me. I'm going to the 19th anniversary of Forsaken Motorcycle Club. Welcome to the jungle, the 19th anniversary party. The pre-party will be at the Forsaken Motorcycle Clubhouse. This is going to be the weekend of the 13th. Friday night is the 13th. They're going to be doing something Friday and Saturday. And then they have a breakfast on Sunday. So the pre-party is 6:13 at the Forsaken MC Clubhouse. The meet and greet will be at 5 p.m. the next day at the Ukrainian Youth Center, 301 Palisade Avenue in Yonkers, New York. The anniversary party will be 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Ukrainian Youth Center. They'll be giving trophies out. That'll be 6/14/2025. And then the after party immediately after will be at the Forsaken MC Motorcycle Clubhouse. Now, let me tell you something, man. Oh, and also scan this thing here for your tickets and hotel information. Just go ahead and scan that. I will be there. So if you want to get my books, or if you want to rather get my book signed that you might have, I will absolutely be there and having a great time. Now, there ain't no party, preacher, avert your eyes. There ain't no party like a Forsaken party. There's no party. They got the cute little Latin honeys out there, bro. And I mean, this is just the way things be at a Forsaken party. The name of this party is Welcome to the Jungle. And this is their 19 years anniversary party. And yeah, this is how it be. I've been to Forsaken party last year, and it bees like this. This is how it bees. This is our man Lavish hanging out with Forsaken Kev. Man, look, man, it is gonna be a party of parties. I got a picture of me hanging out too, but I can't believe I was actually standing there pointing the middle finger at somebody. Like I don't even do that. I don't know what I was doing right there. That was just so out of character for me. I didn't want to show y'all that picture of me standing there with my middle finger poked out. This is
Shame on you. Shame on you.
this is not. I don't. That's not me. I don't do that. I don't know. I was in my New York thing right then. I was in my. You guys have never seen me do a picture like that. What the?
Hey, before we go, can I do a very important plug before we go? Non-political.
Absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
you go ahead and do it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you're in the southeastern United States, you might be aware of there's some very increased and refocused aggression by law enforcement against the motorcycle club community, especially OMCs, one percenters, but pretty much anybody. And they've made it very clear, in particular in the states of Georgia and Florida. So in response to that, on June 8th, in Newport Richey, Florida, we're holding the first ever open COC meeting, where we've got the gentleman by the name of lawyer by the name of Jerry Theophilopoulos. We call him Jerry T for short because nobody can say Theophilopoulos. But he's going to be conducting a RICO seminar to basically educate those of us in the motorcycle community, to make us aware of the tactics that they now are employing, that law enforcement is employing against us. In 2025, they have a few new tools in their toolbox that they're using against motorcycle clubs. So we're going to learn what those things are, and most importantly, how to protect yourself and your organizations, your clubs, against some of this tyranny. If you are not in law enforcement and you're part of a motorcycle club or organization that wants to learn about this stuff, y'all can reach out to me. My socials are pretty readily available. You can catch me on the Big Boneyard, or the email address is bone.outcast@gmail.com. But get at me because it's coming up pretty soon. It's going to be on Sunday, June the 8th. So if you're in the Southeast or you're going to be in the area and want to attend, reach out to me and I'll make sure that happens. Because it's for those of us that are concerned, it's a very important meeting that's going to happen. So it's a really important seminar. But yeah, that's the big thing. I just wanted to share that.
Outstanding, man. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for being on the show today, man.
Oh, yes. And I'll be over there, Big Bone. I'll be back over there so I can ask y'all some more questions on y'all show.
Bone?
Y'all broke up a little bit.
Oh,
I said, thanks for being on the show. Logic said he's going to be back over to your place over there so he can, or on your show, so he can ask y'all some more questions. Bone? Okay. Bone's breaking up.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for being on the show, Bone. I guess Bone's gone. So it's just you and I. You ready, man? You ready to do your thing?
Oh, I'm ready, man. I'm always ready, man. I was born ready.
Okay, let me get to the right screens here. So, we've learned a lot more since we first started. We've learned that it is it could have been from an argument. It could have been from all kinds of things. This guy could have been talking about renting a home or renting a spot for his party. Whatever the case may be, he definitely got into a situation that he didn't want to be in, and it could have been that maybe none of the outlaws called him the N word. It was somebody in the background who was a supporter. I guess all that'll be worked out. But it's not pleasant what we saw happen to him, and I guess we're going to learn more. Oh, by the way, and any of you guys who take insulin or whatever, or the doctor tells you that you need to, it really, I mean, don't be afraid of this needle in the stomach. You just pop it right in there like this. You go boom, stick it in there, and then press the button, and it doesn't even really hurt all that much. It doesn't really hurt at all, really. So don't be afraid. Just like that, it's done. All right. Take care of your health. I just wanted to show you guys that really easy to do, man. It's not as crazy.
I do it for my wife. I have her sliding scale, her long term, her short term. I watch her sugar. I got the meter. Everything you told me, I got it all. I got it all. I said, okay, come on. You got to eat at a certain time. I said, we want to keep this, if we can get it down under 141, because 141 is the beginning of your sliding scale. Get it down under 141, and we can keep it there. And then when the doctor releases her to do exercises, then we gotta get her there.
Yeah, and then for me, luckily, I have this thing here that tells me what my blood sugar is at any time, and I can just look. It's made for an Apple Watch, but there's a workaround. I got it to work on my Samsung watch, and all I got to do is just tip my wrist, look and see what my blood sugar is, treat if I need to, don't treat if I don't need to, whatever the case may be. And for me, luckily, I'm getting to the point where I'll be coming off insulin soon.
Yeah,
I've gotten myself back together. Hey,
that's good.
so take the medicine. If you take the medicine and you eat right, you can come off the medicine. So that's what I'm looking at. They've really decreased my volume quite a bit. So, hey, man, I'll be normal. Chris says, you got the sugar, Black Dragon? Absolutely, I got the sugar. I've always preferred when they, I'm not saying that word. I'm not doing that. Eating once a day will help even out your sugar. I got my girls under control during Ramadan. Oh, there you go. Traveling with one time. Yeah. Eating just once a day will even your sugar out. That the thing is, some diabetics cannot eat just once a day.
My wife, she has to eat her 3 meals.
Yeah. Do you have this for your wife? I just got this. Does she ever go low?
No.
Okay. So this is the emergency go low.
Emergency.
It's like candy, but it's not really candy.
Well, when she used to go low because she wasn't regulating her insulin, I keep not just regular hard candy. I keep chocolate because chocolate brings your sugar up fast.
I think these do too. These are called glucose tablets.
Okay.
And I haven't had one. I don't really have the low sugar, but they sent me these just in case. Put these in my go bag, and if I ever go low, I'll just pop one of these things, man.
I want to say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's only type 2, says Argula Jones. That's only type 2, though. Lots of people feel you can diet your way off of insulin as a type 1. Sorry, just a big T1D advocate. Type 1 advocate. I don't know about type 1, but I think once you get type 1, you got it forever. And in type 2, you'll get forever if you don't take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Love and respect. My heart, ours. Oh, love and respect there, Pale Pride. No, we don't hate you, man. Meals and snacks are different, but she was on insulin. And she got off. Thanks for not banning me, Black Dragon. No, we don't ban. We don't. If you're as long as you're a good person and you're not spamming us, you can feel however you want and think however you want and say however you want. I went to war, and so did Logic. I went to battle for the right of thought and oppression and freedom of speech. I'm not mad at anybody. Glucose tabs are measured amounts of sugar. Food items are not. Orange juice or just an orange works well too. Oh, see, Papa Penguin knows everything.
Yeah, my Papa Penguin, my wife, her orange juice doesn't do nothing for her.
Somebody said you're butchering Arugula's name. You guys never eat salad. Okay, so
well, I said, I apologize if I said your name wrong because I never heard it pronounced.
No, we're going to hear it pronounced right now. We're not taking this from Mr. Jones. We can look it up right now. Okay, so there is a salad called that. So we're going to find out how to pronounce his name because I'm not going to have this said about me. Definition. This is how we'll do this. And it'll say right here.
Arugula. Arugula.
That's that? Arugula.
Arugula.
Okay, arugula. We got it, man. Arugula. Hell, who didn't know that? Black Dragon, do you eat salads? Yeah, but I don't eat arugula salads, obviously. It's an edible Mediterranean plant in the cabbage family whose leaves are eaten in salads. I have never had an arugula salad, bro. I guess we'll have to get one. There you go. It's Italian. Arugula. I said arugula. Oh, man. It's sad. You guys messing up this man's name. Arugula. We got it now. Arugula. Got it. Drew says he's had it on pizza. So there you go. All right. It looks like Logic is talking on the phone. We've carried
I'm
on
here,
too
man.
long.
I'm here.
You ready?
I'm here.
To do your
I'm
outro?
ready. I'm ready to do my outro.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Arugula. Don't forget arugula. Okay. We got it. And action.
I remember this one
Hey,
kid.
what's going on, y'all? This is your boy Logic. Arugula. I apologize for saying your name wrong. But look here, no matter if you're in a 99% club, no matter if you're in a 1% club, no matter if you're black, white, Latino, Asian, when you get on twos, the most important thing is that you ride hard, you ride safe, and you always ride on faith and keep it logical. Peace.
And I'm your boy Black Dragon. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked, or maybe it was worse. But we have spent some time looking and talking about it and learning about it, and hopefully we all have a better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. I will see you guys on the flip side tomorrow, where we will be talking about the return of the Black Biker set to the round robin, which was supposed to be today's topic, but we had this breaking news come in. So that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. Yeah. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
If you are seeking clarity about issues stemming from problems or crises occurring within your motorcycle club, then set up a consultation with Black Dragon. Black Dragon has over 30 years of experience in the motorcycle club world, having served as a national president of the 50-year-old Black Sabbath MC Nation for nearly 10 years. Black Dragon is a veteran negotiator, skilled in crisis management, conflict resolution, inter-club issues, press conferences, and club reputation management. You can set up an appointment to speak with him by phone at clarity.fm/black-dragon. Get the clarity you deserve to help make your MC the best place it can possibly be.
Friends, don't miss this incredible
If you are seeking clarity about issues stemming from
It's definitely a big issue for you too. But I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute. What's up, Mama Roll? I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute and what our responsibilities are and what we need to think about. Because if you don't really know what's going on the set, you can find yourself in kind of a precarious predicament if you make the wrong kind of moves or do the wrong kind of things when this kind of stuff goes on. So, when most percenters get into a war with one another, what should 99%ers do? Here's 10 things you should know. Thing number 1, stay in your lane. Find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. If you're a president, you want to find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. What I mean is, the set can be volatile. It can be very dangerous. And when you have that kind of thing going on, this set's not safe. So, as a 99%er motorcycle club, what you want to find is yourself in your business, in your lane, while all of the fancy stuff gets handled on other levels.
Yeah, you heard that, didn't you? On other levels. Tried to tell you suckers, Black Dragon is the man. Black Dragon is the man. A real OG. Bonafide, certified, a true MC. The biker boys. The biker boys. It's in the house, so most definitely blow the whistle for Black Dragon, Biker TV. That's right, I said Biker TV. See, one day, young Dragon made his way out the Navy to become a prospect. Some people thought he was crazy, but 5 years later, hard work became a habit. He became the president of the mighty Black Savage Nation. MCs, y'all, respectfully. Black Dragon. Black Savage. MC. That's right, y'all. Give it a thumbs up. Black Dragon Biker TV at its best. Oh yeah, and don't forget to get his prospect Bible book. So proud of him. Man, he just don't know. He's a real legend. And y'all know it, and I know it. That's right, Black Dragon. That's right. Glad I met you, my friend. Black Dragon. I'm the Midnight Ghost Rider. Dub V, y'all. Love you, Black Dragon. Peace. And get skinny. Like and share. Goodbye.
Scene 1 after take 1. Scene 1 after take 2.
I remember this one kid I met